Donna wants to know what she can research too.
Oh, and you got the message I've sold that last bed for Lochinvar?
Oh, no.
Some random contacted me.
Didn't even know you put it up.
I hadn't. Just said, you don't happen to have a spare one.
Hello! Hello, everyone.
I got told to do an intro. I haven't got an outro ready, but I did an intro.
Welcome to Q&A Monday.
Hot.
All one of you. Hi.
Oh, well, there you go. It's just gone live.
No, there's 2. No, there's more. There's 15.
She wants the world in 5 seconds flat.
Right? Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome. Boy, we've got some really interesting things to talk about tonight.
We can hear you. Yay! Oh, thank you, Maxine. Yes, that was a bit interesting yesterday to wake up and see that happen.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you, River of Souls.
Thank you. Joe, we can hear you. Thank you, Joe. Hi, Karen. And thank you for taking all the photos last night at the Naughty and Nice Taryn show. Hi, Andrew. Oh, it's just all jumped again.
Hi, Joanne.
Joanne. Yeah, well, we sort of don't...
That wasn't planned.
Yeah, wasn't planned. We heard you. Oh, so you could hear us when we were off air. Right, okay. That's what it was. They could hear us. It's all right. We weren't bitching, were we? I'm just saying, oh, did you get the message I sold the last ticket for Lochinvar? Oh, you like it? Like it, Azra? I thought nobody ever gets me to see me with my hair out, so I thought tonight I'd leave it out. But I'm sort of going a bit blonder now, and the reason is because I'm so grey on my roots. It's the best way to cover it up. Thank you, Christy. Intergalactic Paranormal Ambassadors. We always said we were going to take on the whole world. Just like that, we did. Now, Bianca has a question tonight. She's already teed it up beforehand. I'm not sure if she's listening now, but she said that she is seeing, you know how she sees the one, the 111.
Who's your auntie that's dead that's in here?
Me, Auntie Zell.
Auntie Zell.
Yeah. Hi, Auntie Zell.
A bit forceful tonight, Auntie Zell.
Yeah, she needs me to clean up a bit.
Apparently, I brought someone home from the Queen last night as well.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I brought
3 in the bed?
No, it was before that. But apparently I was upstairs making my poppets. Mm-hmm. My husband was downstairs to watching TV. And apparently there were noises in the bathroom like someone was having a shower. And he thought it was me. And it went on for a really long time. He says, that's a little bit abnormal. You don't take showers for that long. And he kind of waited, and there was some more noise in the shower and in the bathroom and everything. And he ended up going, I'm going to go and check this out. This is ridiculous. And he went in, and of course there was no one there. So
anyway,
I don't know who it was, but whoever it was made me sleep very, very late this morning.
Yes, I'm sure. That's called spiritual bypassing, isn't it? Blame the spirits. Back to me, excuse me. And Bianca, so she used to see a lot of 111. She is now seeing 222, 333, 444. She's seeing repetitive numbers everywhere. Now, we get this question a lot, and she wants to know what is the deep meaning behind this phenomena, and what does it mean for where she is in her journey at the moment?
How about we throw it open to our beautiful people that are coming online now, all 52 of them. What is the whole thing about repetitive numbers and seeing repetitive numbers? Now, we want to see what you think about that. So pop it
it's
in.
Our Irish correspondent, Mary.
Hi, Mary. Pop it into the discussion. What do you think seeing multiple numbers or the same numbers, like 1111 and 2222, blah, 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 actually means? Let us know what you think, because that's the interesting thing. We have our theories. Thank you. But we want to know what you think.
So where did you get your t-shirt from?
Let me think. I've bought so much online recently. No, you can't. It's probably...
Shine.
Oh, Shine. Yeah, Shine.
Shein.
Shine Curve. They make things for luscious ladies.
We're called voluptuous.
And they're really well priced, most things, Jeanette. So,
Good question, Joe.
Yeah.
Do you have many people that get overwhelmed at ghost tours, and what do you do about it? Yes, we do. Probably every second tour, really, at Maitland Jail.
There are those that cling on to others.
The Klingons. And they giggle hysterically.
Yeah.
But there are some who just can't handle it. And we are really lucky to have the best team of supporters. Our team members.
Actually, they won an award.
They did! They did! The best paranormal team. So what they do is they keep an eye out for those particular people, because you can see it when they start to get overwhelmed. And they will generally offer to escort them outside, because we can't force them to go outside, but we strongly suggest they go outside and get out of that environment, and then they talk to them about what's going on, what's upsetting you, and we try to ground them back into the moment, and they sort of wait with them until they are able to come back in. Anything you want to add to that?
It's important to ask why people are getting overwhelmed. So number one, asking why brings them back into the moment. So we make them mindful, because the moment you go up into your head, you go into your subconscious fears. So if you bring them out of that by asking questions and saying, look at me, where are you? Let's bring you back down. What is the fear? Where is it coming from? And get them to start answering those questions. It brings them back into the reality of where they are now, takes them out of that fear space, and that's the first thing. So we also need to know why they are fearful. Where is that coming from? Are they feeling something? Are they sensing something? Or is it something that is fear-based, that is in their biases, in their belief system, and that's being triggered? Because all of those things, and where and why and how and what, is really, really important.
We on Saturday night we were at the Prince Henry Hospital, and we had Ouija boards there, and of course a lot of people freak out when they see a Ouija board. And you said there was actually, by the time you'd explained what they were, and that we weren't going to force people to do anything that made them feel uncomfortable, there was only really one person that still sort of went at it and
out of
wouldn't get near it.
75. Out of 75 people.
So education is the key normally to help people with those anxiety sort of feelings.
And I'll just mention, we had Brooke and Vicky on the Ouija boards, who did extremely well. So great going, ladies. Great going.
Now, Simone, welcome to the show. What do you think of the ghost hunting shows in the UK? Well, I have to tell you, Most Haunted, inspired me. I know people go, what? Most Haunted? But really, I got them to see the table tipping, to see them doing the table tipping and communication the old-fashioned seance style, and it was one of the things that got me interested in that. So I'm ever so grateful to the ghost hunting shows in the UK for inspiring me. But I do see a lot of YouTube ones at the moment that will put like a clickbait heading and then
do nothing.
They'll say, the shadow of the witch has been sighted. Will we catch her? Or something like that. And then everyone's on there sending stars, and nothing really much happens. I mean, you can't make anything happen anyway.
No, but it is clickbait. It is very much clickbait.
Well, I don't agree with that sort of thing.
They are saying that something is happening when the anticipation is that something might happen. Let's read out some of the things that people are saying about the numbers.
The repetitive numbers. So, River of Souls, it means you're on the right track. Sign from Spirit, you are awakening. Robert, 111 is that you are manifesting what you've been focusing your attention on. Oh, Bianca, you will love that. Whether your past thoughts, feelings, and actions. Azra said it's a sign from the divine. Sonia says hi. Andrew says angel numbers are signs from your guides. Who's this? James said, I've heard it could be a loved one trying to contact you. Christy from Spells and Spirits, signs from the universe that you're on the right track. Each number has a different meaning. So what's happening with her though is she's seeing, she used to see 111 everywhere, but now it's 2s and 3s and 4s. It seems to be lots of them. What do we got here? Jody, do you want to read that one?
I always say that it is our angels looking out for us and that they are telling us that we are on the right track.
Oh, I've seen one who aligns with us here, so I'm going to wait till we get to that one. Take time to be aware.
Thank you for answering, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. We
Yeah.
appreciate it. There's
After
no right
all,
or wrong.
yeah.
Absolutely none. So you guys might give us insight as well. So, Avril?
I always see 1111 and believe it's a message from loved ones to say they are looking out for me. And River Souls, my above comment was the answer for the yes 11.
Oh yes, we worked that out.
Yeah,
and now
question.
here we go.
You've trained your brain to notice them.
Yeah.
And look, we're going into a little bit of scientific stuff here,
Yeah.
and the difference between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. So you've got to think of the subconscious mind as your computer, and your conscious mind as what you are noticing at every single moment as you go through your life. And interestingly enough, I was just listening to a podcast on the way here.
Is that why you were late?
No, it was in the car. I was late because I stopped to get a chai latte, but never mind. And they actually say, shush, they say that over 75% of everything that you do every single day comes from the operations of your subconscious mind.
And
which
you
are your
do it
patterns,
without noticing.
Yeah, with your patterns, everything that you have been fed as a child by your friends, family, and your community. So 75% of all of your actions are automatic, and they operate from your subconscious. And this is why people are being training up, and the whole thing of mindfulness is this big thing at the moment. Because when you are mindful, you take yourself out of your subconscious patterning, and you actually concentrate on what is happening right now. Yep. So, Jeanette, yes, very true. You are training your brain to notice those numbers. So you have fed that information into the computer of your subconscious mind, and you have said, those numbers are important to me. Can you see them whenever you can? And your conscious mind's going, yeah, I can, right? Let's go and do it.
So a little flag goes up every time it sees it, and your brain goes, oh, there it is again.
Yeah, and that must mean something important is going to happen, because I've told myself that something important is going to happen. So in a way, it's this biofeedback thing that's occurring. So there is importance in seeing those numbers, but you've also told yourself that there is an importance in seeing those numbers.
And if you think of the amount of times that you would look at a clock, like in my dining room area, I've got a clock on the wall, I've got a clock on my microwave, I've got a clock on the stove, I've got a clock on my wrist, I've got a clock on my phone. I will be looking at those subconsciously all the time, not taking it in. Then I see the 1111, which is a pattern, and my brain goes, oh, I like patterns. Oh, look at that. It's a pattern. I like that. And then when my eye catches those repetitive patterns again, it's already like, oh, pattern. I like patterns.
Mm-hmm.
And so we start to give it more meaning than what it actually is. But yes, it could be all those other things too. As I said, we're not saying the other things are incorrect. It's just that's what we've been told scientifically happens within the brain. I always get a giggle when my car's on the 666 as well.
But this is like the chicken or the egg, because
good on you, Joanne.
You've actually read or been told that those numbers have specific meanings. So you then look for them, even if it is something that you don't consciously do. Your subconscious mind will alert you to the fact that you're seeing those numbers, and possibly alert you to the fact that you understand that there is something meaningful and important, and it may actually allow you to do something that you normally wouldn't have done because you found meaning in those numbers.
Yeah. And look, with the entertainment vouchers with Maitland Jail, I'm not sure. That's actually a really good question. I would check with Maitland Jail, but I have a funny feeling we may be sold out.
We're sold out next month.
Until, and I think the vouchers expire at a certain stage, so you may not be able to use them. I'm not sure. Ring the jail. I'm not sure.
We have now sold out our our tours for next month.
How's the sleepover going?
The sleepover has 15 tickets left. That's right. We're halfway booked.
Yep.
So 15 tickets left for the sleepover at the moment. The all-nighter. It's not a sleepover. So if you want to buy tickets for that, you better get cracking, because we only have 15 tickets left.
Hello, ladies in red.
Hello, Margie.
Oh, thank you, Leanne, and look, thank you for all the beautiful comments that have been coming in about the awards that took place, the Paranormal Awards, organised by a group in America who tried to stay incognito because they didn't want anyone to be influenced by the fact of who was running it.
They wanted it to be impartial.
Yeah, they did a marvellous job, because we won. James, the overnighter one is a one-off at this stage. There may be another one next year. It all depends on the dreaded Rona and how it all progresses. I'm hoping we are over the other side of it.
James, that's why we can't do a sleepover.
Yes, it's an all-nighter.
It's an all-nighter.
Marathon.
And we have to be aware that to be in the 7-hour time slot. So we've had a couple of rules put in place so that we can actually do this. And it will depend on how things go later on. Hopefully when more of us actually get the jab, it will be easier.
I've been reading this book recommended by some cool award winners. If spirits can't physically touch us, if they communicate through telepathy. I'm tired.
How is it we can feel being touched? Yeah, weird.
Is it that they are communicating directly, as you said, to our minds through telepathy, that they can activate the nerve endings somewhere in our body to let us know that they are there? Or is it our body reacting? Because you know how they say, oh, I can feel a touch, I feel the goosebumps, I feel the hair. Is it our body is reacting to the field or the energy of that spirit around us?
True, Bronwyn. Yes. Yes, Miss Anne.
Good book, isn't it?
Yes, Miss Anne.
Makes you really think.
Best female paranormal investigator for 2020.
See, I've already passed my prime. It was 2020 was my prime. What do we got here? I can't even see it. True that when your back is turned to any clock and you turn around, just happen to see that number's that exact minute. Coincidence.
Our brain is a magnificent tool river of souls, and it does things that we can't even imagine that it can do, but it does. It can notify us about danger even before we see it or we know that it's going to happen, because our body's already reacting to that. We have just lost touch with all the magnificent and wonderful things that our body does, because we have these awful things now that tell us everything that we're supposed to think, feel and see. So we don't need to use this, because we're not in caves anymore fighting and you know, looking for the woolly mammoth to come around the corner. We are just in this zone where in most cases most of us are safe. You would find it very different from people who have come from a place or a experience that's been terrifying to them, or where they have felt unsafe. They are often very much maladjusted to the world, where everything can trigger them, because they are always out to just see how they're feeling. Safety and security. I'm just forgetting the what to call it, being completely overstimulated.
If I had been listening, I would have been able to tell you. But yeah, Cara apparently did use her voucher. So use your voucher, come to Maitland Jail, do a tour with us. That's awesome. And also, with that, the repeated numbers and having you back to it and not even seeing it, how many times do you set an alarm on your clock to wake up at a certain time and you wake up just before it goes off? Happens to me all the time because your brain subconsciously knows that the time is coming up, and like we're not counting over the minutes and the seconds, but there must be something in our body that recognizes the time. I mean, I've been practicing the time for many decades now, what time of the day it is, and that's why I get really thrown by daylight savings finishing and time zone changes. But I suppose we can, to a certain extent,
Jodie has a question.
Oh, well, it just jumped.
There,
Who?
Down, down, down. Yep, that up. I have a question. What do
Jodie.
demons smell like?
That was our TikTok. I'll tell you, because it was really weird. We're in a lot of groups. We're in a lot of groups on Facebook, so that we can share our live feeds, like what we're looking at tonight. And I try to get in there and answer questions when I can. And there's this one guy who calls himself, what was it, a doctorate?
Let's not
Doctorate of parapsychology, but the degree
reveal.
he's done is not university level at all. And he was saying that there are 3 distinct smells for demons. Parapsychologists don't subscribe to demonic things, by the way. The most regular one that people know is rotten eggs or sulfur. The second most common one is death or rotten meat. And the third smell, which is puzzling, is vinegar.
Mm-hmm. So that acrid. It's an acrid, acidy type.
My son's shoes used to smell like vinegar sometimes. So does that mean he had a demon in his shoes?
Look, there have been a lot more responses to that.
Oh, yeah. My husband's farts.
Thousands of them.
That was great.
But, yeah. And then to add insult to injury, let's go a little bit further down the rabbit hole with this. We got response. We got a response from someone who said that the thing about the red glasses would be sending us to hell. And so I posted that up. And then he replied to say, no, it wasn't about the red glasses. It was about the fact that you're a woman.
And Eve sinned. Eve sinned and condemned humanity.
Yeah. Oh, no, condemned all women. Condemned all women to hell.
Condemned all of humanity it was.
So, yeah.
Tosser.
So, already gone. We're done.
Yeah.
Gates of heaven are shut for us.
I think there's actually more gates than that that's shut to us. I fart in their general direction. Oh, good on you, James. Go for it. Woohoo! See, once again, Andrew, that's because the Warrens believe in the angels and demons and Christianity viewpoint, and there are a lot more religions than Christianity, and it doesn't fit. It really doesn't fit.
And it depends on your belief system yet again. So if you have been brought up in the arms of the Catholic Church, that's what you're going to believe in, because that is the information that they put out, and that's fine. I guess we will all know when the time comes. So the jewelers are all demons because we use liver. What was that?
What?
So the jewelers are all demons because we use liver of sulfur to antique jewellery.
Liver of sulfur, Robert?
What is liver of sulfur?
Is that a typo? Oh. Sure, when my dad was passing, I could smell it even when he was 3.5 hours away. Did you mean death? You could smell death? Oh, the Rhine Institute is offering some parapsychology courses. Just popped up in my... So for the Maitland Jail... Oh, Meryl is the one that's going to join us for Lochinvar House. Welcome, Meryl. I'm with Renata now, so we'll organise to get the information to you after the show.
The Maitland Jail link is actually on Newcastle Ghost Tours and on Anne and Renata Frightfully Good, both Facebook pages. If you go to the events...
Now, you can't use it for the sleepover because the sleepover is a private event.
Yeah. So the Maitland Jail sleepover is our event. It's a private event.
Which you
But
wouldn't be able to use for.
If you want to go to Ghost Hunting 101, you have to actually go to Maitland Jail web page and go to the public tours and go to the nighttime guided tours, and you'll find Ghost Hunting 101.
Yes, this is one of the problems with the paranormal field, is there are a lot of self-declared experts. And actually Ed and Lorraine Warren are a very good example of that. They declared themselves to be demonologists without actual training. So
just go
it's
away.
all you can do is use your experience and read books, read other people's opinions.
Yeah, look, learn
formulate
from as many
your
people
own.
as possible. That's the most important thing.
So yeah, and keep an open mind that maybe the people that you are learning from are not right, like us. We could be full of poop. You don't know. But hopefully we spark something in you that will then go and research it for yourself and find out more information.
Roberts put liver of sulfur is black blobs of powder that when it becomes wet it can have silver dipped in or covered with a brush to turn silver black or older looking.
Oh, so you can antique it, sort of that sort of thing.
Very nice.
That's cool. All right, so there's one from Margie here. Do you guys know about Boeing's research and know about the ideomotor? We certainly know about the ideomotor effect. And that is something that comes up all the time when we do the Ouija boards, table tipping, glass dowsing.
Pendulum.
Is it the micro movements of the muscle? Because we'll say, oh, I'm holding my hands out, they're dead straight, I'm not moving. Well, no, that's not true, because our muscles fatigue, will contract and expand, we'll have little tremors in our hand, there is blood pulsing through the body, which creates little movements, and all these little things can add up to micro movements. And if you have a group of people that are sitting around a table and they've all got their finger on the pendulum and you've asked a question, is anybody here with us? You're all hoping it's going to slide to yes. So you're all looking at it, and subconsciously all these little micro movements will start to energize that planchette to move towards the yes. So is it us that is subconsciously moving the planchette to the yes? Is it one of us that has a psi ability that is actually moving matter with our minds, or is it a ghost?
Or is it all of the above?
All of the above. For me, with that sort of work, it's when you get validating information. When you get information that nobody else could have known. Renata did a good one last night at the Naughty and Nice Tarot show. I think even the spirits were embarrassed. We were pulling cards. We had a gentleman come to the table and he wanted to speak to his son who had passed, and we sort of, through the information that came through, worked out that it was a motorbike accident. And so he got his message and off he went, and then another lady came out. We said, who did you want to contact? And she said, well, that was my husband. I would also like to speak to my son. This one's on the tarot card. She goes, right, he's giving me some interesting information here. She did giggle. Is there something to do with skid marks in the undies with your son? And I'm going, do you really want to discuss this in a room full of people? And the mother went sort of pale and quiet, and I'm thinking, oh, this is really awkward. And I'm going, Renata, maybe this young man doesn't want this information outed here publicly. And then she started to laugh and went, It's actually something that happens with all the males in our family. It's a thing.
Yeah, it's one of those moments where you go, do I actually say something or not?
Yeah, but it was good. It was fun.
But yeah, he was adamant that was the information that I was supposed to give over. So
yeah, we had tears last night, but generally it's not misery. It's sort of happy tears.
yeah.
Oh, thank you, Jodie. We do our best. Yeah. All right. Shadow people. Shadow fingers. Fingers?
Shadow fingers. Right.
Anne's tired.
Yeah, look, we have particular views on shadow figures, and again, if you read information from several different places, each of those may tell you something different about shadow figures. So until you encounter one and have a suspicious idea of what it is trying to be for you, it may be one of those issues where we can't actually put it into a box perfectly because it will be different for a whole lot of people. So for me, a shadow figure is something that can only form in that way. It cannot form as an apparition. It cannot form in full form. It cannot show itself as something that is made of a light substance. It forms within the darkness of energy, and that's how it presents itself. And in saying that also, we tend with our mind to see shadow figures that aren't there in some instances, because our mind is always looking for something to focus on in the darkness, because it helps us to remain less fearful of being in the dark. So our mind is always circulating around all of those areas that are dark to place something in them so that our body and our mind can say, it's okay, it's all right, everything's fine, I know where I am, I know where everything is, everything's cool. So part of that is a psychological process to keep us okay. Then there are also shadow figures that will tend to move around, and it's if they remove themselves from the background and the darkness and show themselves in a form that is dark, yep. But again, for me personally, it is about that particular type of entity, energy, that is forming itself in a shapeless, lightless way. And it doesn't necessarily, for me, mean that it is something to be feared or something that is automatically put in the negative basket.
Yeah, for me it's just they don't have the energy to manifest properly. I'll just go short and sweet. What's that there? I've been listening about what you've been talking about, the boards and tipping. I tell you, they frighten the hell out of me, but would like to know. Yeah, there's a great little book called, I think it's Table Tipping for Beginners.
Yeah, it's only small.
Yeah, it's a little. Yeah, I think I'll have a look for it in a second. Hi Karen, how are you?
Hi Karen. Hope you're doing well.
Shadow Fingers, Mrs. Slocum. Now, Andrew, if you can find the link for that, please send it through, because that would be really interesting. I would love to know who is running a parapsychology
not
course
in
at
Newcastle.
TAFE.
Newcastle, England, possibly, but
Please,
not in Newcastle.
Send me the link if you can find it. That would be. I'd be curious.
That would be very interesting.
Do you ever have people who don't agree with the information you provide in a reading as validation? But yes, I'll let you take that. I'm just going to look for that book.
Yeah, Renee, it's quite interesting that when you are doing a reading, especially in a crowded area, a crowded room, and that's really hard when you bring someone to the front or are doing a reading for them, and you give them a piece of information and they might say, nah. And look, for me, I don't necessarily need to be validated myself that every bit of information that I'm getting needs to be 100% truthful or being correct, because shit, I get things wrong Absolutely.
And people have free choice
I,
as well.
I make, it's not that I make things up, but I may not interpret information properly, or it may just not be coming through. So I don't, if I give someone a bit of information, they say, no, I can't place that anywhere. I go, that's okay. I'm probably wrong. It's fine. But I have had people come back later and go, remember when you said that, that's actually come true, or that I can remember where that is. And that happens to a lot of psychics and mediums.
And some people will swear black and blue when you give them messages at the seance parlour that, no, they don't know who that is, they don't know who that is, they don't know anyone like that. And then the next day they'll ring back and went, oh, yeah, actually I do know who that was. So too late now.
Yeah, mine can go really blank when you put on the spot. And it's interesting. Even I get this even with readings where people will come with a whole lot of questions, but the moment they sit down, they forget everything.
That's why it's good to write it down. This is the book that I was mentioning, Table Tipping for Beginners by Teresa Lally. It's a nice little book, easy to read, good common sense tips. And this is another nice little one too, The Solitary Seance, How You Can Talk to Spirits on Your Own by Raymond Buckland. Raymond Buckland books are always awesome. Oh, it's not tarot night tonight, guys. This is the question and answer night on the paranormal. Thoughts on cryptids?
The bush is not a place where I need to go.
I'm quite happy to let the cryptid people go look for cryptids.
Yep.
I don't feel the need.
There's crazy shit out in the forests. You're not going to get me out there.
I really don't think we've found everything that's out there, or the capabilities of everything that's out there. A bit like UFOs. So I believe it is possible. I've never seen or experienced anything, but I have met people who have been truly rattled by the experiences they've had. Shout out to Duo. And
there's an interesting thing that I heard on the weekend too, and it is about, it's kind of to do with this, and it's about the army, when the Australian Army goes out into the bush and they do their training out in the bush, where they're out there for days and days and days to try and harden them up so that when they go into conflict they can survive. And they tell these stories that there are these beings that literally come out of the trees and watch them. And this is not anything that's really old. It is old, but it's also things that are being reported right now. Right now, these stick branch creatures that come out of the trees, and we'll be watching them. It scares the pants out of them, and rightly so.
Oh, Susan, what is table tipping? Good question. Okay, so I actually have a table tipping table here. This is the one that I use. It's just a three-legged, hopefully I don't pull the camera out, wooden little table. It's something they used to do in the Victorian seance era, where instead of going watching TV like we do now after supper, they'd all retire to the parlour and sit around tables and call in the spirits. And table tilting or tipping is placing your fingers lightly on the table and asking the spirits to communicate by tapping, knocking, sliding, tipping the table. So you actually get movement of the table. And we have seen some bizarre things. We've had levitations twice, maybe 3 times. But levitation is rare. I don't know whether we're just not doing it right, or what it is. Maybe it can't happen. But yeah, definitely some crazy moves of the table that I don't see how one person could make it do what it's doing.
Look, it's like everything. You need time to be able to practice and to dedicate to things like that. And when you're really busy, we had far more time a year ago than we do right now. So to find time to do that on a regular basis is just hard.
And Karen wants to know what the F is a cryptid.
Cryptids are those weird and wonderful things that you can find that are of the earth, I guess. So they can be animal, part vegetable, part
Bigfoots, Yowies, Yetis.
Things that can be found within the realms where most people don't live.
Yeah. Supposed to be many up in the Blue Mountains, in the forests out there. Jodie said also, thank you for telling her to get her pictures printed from the jail. They'll never get lost now.
Yes, yeah. If you do have any photos that you get that are interesting, the really big thing is just don't keep them on your phone without backing them up somewhere, or getting them printed, because you know that the one moment you want to find that fantastic photo, it's gone, or you'll drop your phone, or you'll lose your phone, and then you can't get it back. So always back them up, guys.
Hello, Irene. How are you? Lovely. Thanks for joining us. Del, I do card readings here and there, and I just always tell people if there is anything wrong, I've said today not to worry, that it may come up in a few weeks. It's a good way of doing it too. Oh, this is a good one. Is there any connection between speaking in tongues and channeling? We were talking about this the other day.
I'm not getting into any religious stuff, Avril. I'm not.
I'll go there.
I'm not.
I would love to have some knowledge about this for churchy people.
No.
I've always thought speaking in tongues meant that you had too much wine at communion.
Look, and I can really just jump off a big cliff right now.
Go for it. I'm going to push.
To say. There was one instance that I know of, and this is really interesting, because if you listen to Mysterious Universe, and these guys are super awesome.
My God, they do a good podcast.
Mysterious Universe, they're up in Queensland, and they podcast crazy. They put out so many podcasts, and just recently their latest podcast is actually about channeling and speaking in tongues, and all the weird and wonderful stuff that's associated with the evangelicals. And they actually talk about this, the speaking in tongues and the channeling, and that the possibility of what they are actually doing is channeling.
Yeah, it's the same as the spiritualists.
But, yeah, they call it speaking in tongues. But there are also situations, that I'm going to say, where there have been tests done where people who are language experts and old languages have sat in on evangelical worship when people go into speaking in tongues, and the whole idea is that they say they speak these very old languages that no one knows. And there was this one particular article where this particular person went in to the meeting, and they were having this session, and all of these people around her started to speak in tongues. And she said that no one made any sense. So,
yep, we'll just leave that there, shall we? But for me, they could be. I've
been in evangelical meetings when they start speaking in tongues, and it's freaked me out. But I have to say, I've also been to an evangelical meeting.
Send me the link.
I've been to an evangelical meeting where they have pushed me out onto the stage, and you know how the priest goes, "Down you go!" I went down.
What? Publicly on stage?
Yes.
That was a bit rude.
Oh, that was, no. With the other 20 people that went up on stage.
All right.
It was like...
What sort of party was that?
This was 40 years ago. This was 40 years ago.
Oh, when you were 40?
Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, Lord. And the thing is that they whip you up into this frenzy, and that's kind of the whole idea.
Totally okay, don't worry.
It's the whole idea of it. They whip you up into this frenzy, and you become very, very manageable in their hands. And that's where the brain
Suggestible.
goes. Yeah, the brain goes there and allows these things to happen. So who knows?
You want to please people. You want to be
knows?
part of the flock, part of the herd.
But you're also in the flow of the energy that's being created. Yeah. And so, I mean, it's kind of a little bit like hypnosis. Mass hypnosis. Sorry, guys.
And also, I think I've skipped over the question. John was saying that could the shadow people be recently departed people? I don't necessarily think that's a link, but it's an interesting thought. Margie.
Just a thought, but could it be possible that ghosts are actually the soul still living the experience? Do you believe we are only experiencing this one life experience in the present moment? Is it possible that different fragments of our soul are existing at different times in different places, sort of like time travel, but time is illusion, also like dreaming, if that makes sense? Yes, Margie.
Alternate universes, parallel universes. The physics sort of says that we could have that. That is an absolute possibility. I know that we did a table tipping seance session once at Liverpool TAFE. And they were talking to someone from the 1960s who was doing a seance session whose mind was blown that they were talking to someone from the future, whereas these guys' mind was blown they were talking to someone in the past. Wow. So it was an instantaneous moment where these people were alive, the curtain had opened, or the universe had a slip, and they were able to get this communication going between the two worlds. Wow. Didn't witness it. I just saw the results of Don, who is a very staunch, logical thinker, came out white as a ghost going, but how did that happen? But how did that happen? He was really rattled. It wasn't like a scary experience. It was just a mind-altering experience and it shifts your reality in this current dimension and makes you think differently.
Yeah, Australia has yowies, Australia has Bigfoots, Australia has every creepy crawly thing out in the bush. And some of them are very, very ancient.
Hi, Nina. Sorry, it just all jumped again. Oh, that's always a nice one. Had a religious ex tell me the song Bohemian Rhapsody is about the devil. He was sure of it because the priest had told him so. Well, if the priest has told him so, can't be wrong, can it? You should listen.
Renee, it does mention the word Beelzebub.
If you play it backwards.
No. So there you go. That is one of the names.
Has the devil inside for you.
That's one of the names of the devil, so that does it.
Yeah. Oh, dear. Irene, what do you think of hooded cloak figures? I saw 5 of them around a car one day on my way to work.
Wow. Was the car standing still? Or was it in motion? That would be interesting.
Was it Halloween? I know.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. I can't answer that.
No.
What did it mean to you? What was your immediate gut instinct on what this was? It may have had something to do with the number 5. Not sure.
And we're only umming and ahhing about that because there is a lot of research that we've been doing most recently with regard to a lot of the haunted sites that we have been investigating for our True Hauntings podcast, and they always mention a hooded figure. So is it something that is part of our collective unconscious? And it is a type of archetype, something that we see that has meaning or a specific meaning to a whole collection of us. And therefore that is how it is perceived.
Thank you, Maxine.
So all we're trying to do is give you enough things to think about so that you can go and have a... Yeah, you can do that. No. So you can go and have a look for yourself. The more research we seem to do with the stories that we tell on True Hauntings, the more our perspective on all of these things is slowly changing. Matt, you're very naughty.
Matt, I've realised I've finally hit the heights of heights because somebody sent me a dick pic. I know, I'm hitting the big time. Somebody sent me a dick pic. Oh dear.
Speak of the devil.
Oh, it's the puppies. Hello, puppies. Oh, okay, we're all in. We're all in. Come on. Come. Oh, to make space.
That's very interesting. Maybe it was important to an accident or a passing of those people. Maybe they were going to be involved in an accident, and that's why you saw that in that sort of way. So again, you've got to, I guess, have a look at, as Anne said, what do you believe hooded figures mean for you? But we do have this collective thought of certain things, and no matter what country you might be in, there seems to be this sort of same sense of meaning attached to certain things, and maybe that's just the way our collective minds work.
Oh, thank you, Tracy. I'm glad you're enjoying it. We're loving doing it. We did a new one today, in a place that we've been before, so we always like doing those ones.
What's Del Anne's big long one there?
Oh, she does like big long ones.
We used to live in a house where there was so much activity there, as the old people that owned it as well passed on that place. Me and my brother were fighting in the lounge room one day. Out of all the pictures lined up on the shelf, only mine and my brother's fell. I can tell you we stopped fighting right away.
Yes, my auntie used to live in this house, and she died in this room, and she's not real happy with me at the moment because there's a mess everywhere because we've just been running in and out constantly, and haven't been able to clean up. Yes, I am going blonde. Yes, I am going blonde. Yeah, no, I'm not going to show you. Yes, celebrity status. Meh. But we have good news in that we will be taking the Naughty and Nice Tarot show live around the state. New South Wales at the moment, and then we're looking at other states as well. So if you have somewhere that you would like us to go, has to be a club. We can't come to your house.
Or a nice little community hall.
Yeah, community hall or something like that. We would love to come
or a
to your
spiritual
area.
centre.
Yep. We did some work over in Perth. Actually, we should tell them we've got tickets to go to Perth. We might as well go over there and use them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Thank you.
And the thing is, what we want to do, and I was thinking about this, if when we go to all of these places, we need to stay somewhere that's haunted everywhere we go.
Of course.
So that we can do some lives after the show.
Do you believe if you ask not to see ghosts, will they appear, or will you only feel them?
Sherry, you are in control of your mind. You are in control of your mind at all times, even though you think you're not, you are. So whatever information you feed into yourself, with the belief that that is what is going to happen, that's what will happen. If there is underlying fear that you're telling yourself garbage and that you don't really believe what you are telling yourself, your mind and your body and your eyes will forfeit to the subconscious thoughts that sit there, and that's what will happen. So, for example, I can say to myself...
She could have said yes or no, but let's just keep going with this, shall we?
I'm a Libran. I talk. You can say to yourself, okay, I'm only going to feel spirit, I'm only going to feel spirit, I'm only going to feel spirit. But in the back of your mind, in your subconscious, you've seen all of these movies that say to you, but no, they come as evil things. And oh my God, I'm going to see one and I'm going to die. The likelihood is you'll see one and you'll die because you have to consistently build upon that first thing that you're saying, I only want to see spirit when I'm ready. And I only want to see spirit in a most positive light.
Okay, well, yeah, I think it comes down to your permissions that you give. So if you're saying, I don't want to see, I don't want to see, I don't want to see, then more than likely you won't see, because you will not be looking for them anyway, because it's fear that will blocking you. But even asking, you may feel them, you may not feel them. It depends how they want to interact, or if they're even there. Oh yeah, Andrew said Ballina or Byron Bay. Their wisdom highlights. Thank you, Louise. I like that.
Yeah, Joe, you understand me? I've got to explain things.
Yes, we hope to go down to Victoria. Is the negative energy surrounding my house stopping us moving on to a new life in the city?
Pink unicorn, get that sorted, girl. Do a freaking smudging, do whatever. Stand in front of your house and go, sell, you bastard. Come on, we need you to move. Again, be in control. All of this stuff where people's control is being taken away from them through all these fears and biases. Guys, get a grip. These things you can do for yourself. Put your mind to these things, believe in what is going to happen, and it will. But you must take control.
There you go. So Louisa said that they lived in a house which had spirits. Son and husband did occasionally see apparitions. I told the spirits I did not want to see them, and I didn't, but she heard them. Mm-hmm. Good stuff. I think we're just about time up.
Portable tree. It's, look, with this stuff, and I wasn't meaning to offend at all. If you feel that there is negative energy there, don't just sit with that. Do something about it. Tell it to go away. Be very vocal. Do whatever you feel you need to do. If it is smudging, if it is talking to the air, if it is calling someone in that can be of assistance, that is not going to charge you an arm and a leg for just walking into your house.
You can do it yourself. You don't need other people.
But yes, you can do it yourself. And this sense of needing to do it personally is really, really important. You've got to believe in this stuff.
And this is true, Jodie. The more you focus on negativity, the more you invite it into your space. Keep it positive. Renata often says play happy, loud music, dance around. Like, we were feeling flat last night, so we put on some music. We started dancing around and singing loudly. We won't tell them what the song was, but it lifted our energy. So you can do that. That will bring positivity into the house.
And it will help. It will absolutely help. So,
yes, sweep the floors with the brooms.
Yeah, bring some nice flowers
Put it
into
out the door.
House.
Removing negativity.
Spells and Spirits sell some great spray for that. It's called Fuck Off Spray. You can buy a bottle of that and spray it everywhere. Have you got some here?
No, because I gave mine to Claire, and Christy was going to give me another one, but she didn't.
All right.
It's all right. She gave me Money Effing Loves You spray.
Yeah, so we've got another one here. It's called Money Effing Loves You.
Yeah.
And it has citrine and cinnamon, basil, ginger.
And the cinnamon smells so good.
It just smells divine. So grab a bottle of this from Spells and Spirits. It's $18. If you go around your house doing this everywhere, I reckon it'll sell within a week. Oh God, that smells nice. I can smell the cinnamon.
Oh. The cinnamon's just gorgeous.
Love it. I want to eat apple pie.
Well, look, that brings us to the end of the evening. So thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you've all subscribed to our YouTube channel. We're trying to get to that 1,000. It's agonizing trying to get to the 1,000. So if you haven't found us on YouTube, if you could look up Anne and Renata, we would be ever so grateful if you could subscribe. And there's lots of fun stuff that's going on there.
Please subscribe, guys. We've got to get to that first 1,000.
Yeah, TikTok is going nuts at the moment. She keeps putting stuff up and goes viral. I put things up and people go, eh. So I hate it.
I was the one that hated it.
You hated it
first.
I was putting things up and I was getting in trouble off them because they said it's nothing to do with our topic. Well, I can't think of anything else to put up.
Now, guys, also Gloucester. We have our next Gloucester tour, the Mountain Made Gold Mine Ghost Hunt, coming up on the 15th of next month. Tickets are on sale. We would love to see you there. We would love to have you experience.
Come and stay in Gloucester for the weekend.
Yeah, and give the community some money.
They've had a shit time.
Yeah, they really have. Yeah.
With floods and everything, so even one of their beautiful cafes burnt down, and it was been hard for them. Anyway, we love them and we want to support their community, and we just love the Gold Mine Tour, so you got to go. Anyway, love yous all. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll be back on... if you want to join us for the American show, we're on 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. We'll be streaming live from StreamYard and on the Paranormal United Network. So you've got to look that one up. Paranormal United Network for our American show, which is 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
For them.
For them.
For us, it's 9 o'clock in the
morning.
morning.
It's 9 a.m. in the morning. See yous on the dark side, guys.